It's 1994, and Julie Hill is about to have a revolutionary operation.
I'd never forgive myself now if I turned around and said, well, no, actually, I think thanks, but no thanks. I'd always be looking back and thinking, well, I wonder what if.
The implants have been tested on the workbench, and they do what they're supposed to do.
On the workbench?
On the workbench.
This morning she's turning into a little bit of a gibbering heap.
I don't know if you want a pre-med.
Possibly.
Sleeping tablet?
Probably.
Do you?
Fine. I lie. Yeah.
See you in future, as they say.
Well, you won't see me, but I'll see you.
Okay.
In April 1990, Julie was involved in a car accident that snapped her spinal cord and left her paralysed from the waist down. 4 years later, a team of scientists and doctors are going to attempt the impossible. At Salisbury Hospital, they're planning to reactivate Julie's paralysed legs using an electronic implant. It'll be the first operation of its kind in the world.
Daniel, the youngest, asked me, why is it good for you standing up? You know, why do you want to stand up? And I said, well, it'll make me live longer, healthier. He said, well, you've got to do it then. You know, it's got to be done. And I said, well, of course it has. And putting it in simple terms like that, I thought, well, you'd be stupid not to. You know, it made me think then as well. I think, of course I've got to do it.
On, turning up, 0.1, 0.3.
The first task in the 8-hour operation is to identify Julie's severed nerve roots that stimulate her leg muscles.
These things are not colour-coded or identifiable. The only way to identify them is to put an electric current on them, see which muscle groups move.
Going up. Knee extension.
Very strong knee extension.
An electrode is attached to each nerve root, and the circuit is completed by wires running to the revolutionary implant.
This is the implant.
Rather like a small telephone exchange, the implant is able to send and receive messages to stimulate the muscles.
Those are the wires that we've now got to marry up.
The only clue to Julie's bionic status is a small bump above her hip.
I'm coming up about 50% now.
5 days later, it's crunch time. Has it worked?
Yes. More? Mm-hmm. Oh, yes. Still stronger. A bit more. A bit more. Now, I think that means business, don't you?
Because a can-can.
That's good. OK. Do you want me to take down the master? And there you are. There's both. And the first target for this system is to enable the paraplegic to stand with sufficient stability that they can take at least one hand off any frame that they're using for balancing, so that they can put the free hand out to reach for things. I put the gadget on first.
But before Julie can stand, Tim must devise a computer program to tell the implant which muscles to use.
Don't be too disappointed if this doesn't work perfectly first time.
6 months after the operation, they're ready for their first test.
Are we ready for this? Winding up.
36.
And up, and up. There you are. Are you able to get up? No. Yes, just about. And then is your hips are very strong. So I'm winding the hips back.
Still pulling. We're going to be getting to a stage in the near future where I'm not going to have to carry half of the medical office with me to stand up. I'll be able to do it at home on my own.
Knee's going.
Right knee's going.
Right knee's going. Well, I could bring the right knee back up again.
You know, this is just really just the beginning. That's pretty exciting.
Okay, could you sit down, please?
Okay, coming down. Coming down.
Well done.
Thank you.
Cool, blimey. Salisbury and back. Bloody Salisbury and back, yeah. Week in, week out. 4 years. It's a long time. I go into autopilot now.
After years of being the medical guinea pig, the next 9 months could see the most dramatic improvements for Julie. But the team have got to solve one major problem. Julie can now stand at the press of a button, but she can't stand straight.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's a little bit straighter this morning.
When I stand up, my right hip is very kinked, so I look a bit like Max Wall when I'm standing. Basically, the centre of balance isn't where it should be, so there's still a lot of weight going through my arms.
Oh, let's have a look at that. How does that feel, Julie? Similar.
I've just sat myself down. Stop. What they found is my muscle anatomy doesn't seem to fit with the textbooks. Having said that, they've got no real way of telling at the moment whether, everybody's is different. There's nothing to say that everything should be the same. It's like a fingerprint. Everybody's fingerprints are different, so the actual makeup of how our muscles work and our body works may not all be the same either.
There are 47 muscles in each leg, and the brain is very good at giving just the right amount of power at the right time to make our muscles move. But Julie's implant is less sophisticated and has less control over which muscles it stimulates, and crucially, by how much.
And correcting motions. You get a considerable mixture of movements from any one spinal root. L2R, hip flexor. So we're getting a multi-muscular response. And really what we've got to get right is the right balance of the 47 muscles for each movement that we want to make. This is the one I use for hip abduction on the right. It's what she usually stands with.
Oh, I hate this one.
You like L5L, don't you?
Everything, Tim.
It's violent. Sorry about that. We can let her go, I think.
I think I'm getting chair phobic. I'm sure I am, actually.
You're trying to accentuate the activity that you do want and weaken the activity that you don't want. It's quite a juggle. It's like having 5 balls up in the air at the same time.
I'm going to actually start with the left leg today because it always seems to be a difficult one to do.
Getting Julie to stand straight is crucial, so the team have got to identify which muscles are making her bend forwards. And the only way of doing that is to knock them out with local anaesthetic, one by one.
Give me 150.
The first problem is to find the right muscle.
I think that's proximal rectus femoris.
You wanted that as well, didn't you? So you could go for that.
Because all the kneecaps twitching. That wasn't the one I was looking for. But it appears to be the one for the top end of the muscle which runs down the front of the thigh. It's making this bit of the muscle contract, and the kneecaps twitching. It was the one I was going to look for next. But when you find something, you take the one you've got and you then look for go back to the one you're looking for. I'm not sure what I'd do if I had 75 volts in my leg.
Should we try? I'll do it. I'll stop watching now, though. So it's research. Research is what it's all about, isn't it? And I knew what I was letting myself in for. Well, no, I didn't. That's a lie. I couldn't possibly say I knew what I was letting myself in for. I didn't realise, probably in December '94 when I had the op, that at this stage we'd still be talking about things that we were talking about probably the day after the op.
After each nerve block, the team check whether Julie's standing has improved.
Is that? Oh, yes, I can see that.
Well, she's away from the wheelchair. I'm sure it's better, isn't it?
It's much better.
It's straighter.
It is. It's much better. Much better. That knee's going.
That needs
No.
to
Push it in a bit more.
You're straighter.
Yeah.
The only trouble is the knees.
Yeah.
The knees are a disaster.
I wish the original designer of the human system had made it more convenient for engineers and doctors to rectify, but that isn't the case.
Yeah. You're having to take weight on your hands now because you're...
My knees are going, but that is so much better.
So we have a difficult problem to solve.
Right, well, you better come down because you're going to come down soon anyway. We've learned something. It's not what we wanted to know. Nobody has done anything remotely near the systematic study that we have done on Julie. So she really is the source of the world expertise on this particular topic.
Does she know this?
I think she does know that she is very, very valuable to scientific research. She really is. There is a lot depending on her.
Before my accident, I was your archetypal couch potato. Keeping fit for me was running to the car. It was that good, you know. I don't think I've ever felt as fit as I do now. I'm getting such a good aerobic exercise via the implant. It's really, really working well for me. I've been given extra potential, if you like, and because I'm able now to do more, because I feel better for it, I do. I go and do it, and, you know, it just makes everything so much better.
To stop her muscles from deteriorating, Julie has a computer program which exercises her legs, and her husband Kevin keeps her company.
You can do yours now. All right. You can do your bit now. Because that looks really funny. Yeah. You can imagine how boring this gets when you're on your own doing it. So this works really well, really well. It's good.
I've got my squeak back today. I'll have to oil it. It took me a long, long time to accept her disability and to accept life could be normal. You doing your pecs? Really?
Yes. 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 I can't wait.
I started to feel comfortable with it a year into the project. So it's 5 years of not accepting it. And I think probably the project helped a heck of a lot because suddenly there was something there that we could be doing together.
No, leave it there, please. Put it back. Somewhere to put that, Nick. No, put it back.
Since my accident, we've been through hell and back. There's no two ways about it. You can't odds it. It's there. It's happened. And we could well have split. But I think we've come out the other end of it now so much stronger because of all the crap that we had to go through.
Actually, might be a bit too heavy.
As time has gone on, we've developed a much, much closer relationship. It's got nicer, it's got tighter, we share more. It's just everything. It's just got so much better. And I think our marriage is probably stronger now than what it was the day we got married. I would say, in all honesty, that's how I feel about it.
Our target was to give sufficient function that Julie would want to use it every day and would want to continue exercising with it every day. But we are not in the business of miracles. The notion that she is just going to get up out of her wheelchair and do a walking marathon, no way. There is what is possible and what is clearly not possible.
Nevertheless, Tim's ambition is to get Julie's paralysed legs walking again, something that no one's ever achieved before.
It's there. Lovely.
Eventually, I would like to be able to get onto crutches, using the implant, and go into that inaccessible pub under my own steam, not have to be lifted and shifted, and stand at the bar or whatever. I'd like to be able to go into my mum and dad's house and go and sit in the armchair like I used to sit in the armchair, rather than put in a dirty, muddy track all the way up there. I'd love to leave footprints. Hey, that's a good one, actually. I'd love to leave footprints in the snow. That would be really, really something.
After years of effort, Julie is about to test Tim's walking program for the first time.
Yes, I think I'll put that back. Not quite. Oops, I'm going to move that across. And I'm not helping that time at all.
Swinging back.
It is swinging back. Do you want me to?
No, leave it. That's a bit of a skip, that's a bit of technique.
Each of Julie's leg movements is the result of a complex program of electrical stimulation.
Not off on the right.
The computer makes her hip flex, her knees bend, and lifts her toes off the ground. And while one leg takes the weight, the other swings through. But all Julie has to do is press buttons on the frame to start and stop.
Oh, massive step. And your right leg is actually bashing the front as well.
Let's go down this actually.
I was exhausted, absolutely exhausted, and sweat pouring off me. And I just wanted to stay up and stay on my feet and step and step and step. But the feel-good factor was just so high.
I've got a long way to go yet, so I need dancing lessons. Is that good?
It was very good. Very good indeed. I was very, very good feeling. I knew this would always be fun, you see, and I'm just so close now. That far away. So you've done good, actually, Tim. You've done good on this.
Is that yours?
Hiya. Hello? Hiya, you all right?
Just gone home.
Okay.
Nearly 20.
Yeah, fine. Here, I've got to tell you, guess what? Guess what I've done? Hello? Can you hear me? Guess what I've done today? Sod, I can't tell him. Bugger! I don't believe it. Ring me back.
While the first walking trials were a success, the muscles Julie needs to walk are the very muscles which keep Julie bent. So the search is still on for the right stimulation program that will let her do both.
Pink cushion. We really do need to go for...
By January this year, the team think they've identified which muscle is causing the problem, and so they're going to paralyze it for a few weeks with an exotic poison.
What is it then? Botulinus?
Well, yes, according to Tony. It's,
Oh, right, yeah.
Do you remember he was saying last week, wasn't it? It's from dodgy rice in Chinese restaurants that's been left lying around too long.
Yeah, that's right.
Screen. My goodness, that's a real bundle of wires you've got there. L5, L4.
Try and make a conscious effort not to put too much store on it, but just can't help yourself, can you? Everything crossed, apart from my legs, hopefully. Okay.
1 week after the injection, they're hoping for a big improvement in Julie's standing.
It's quite active, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't think it feels any... Oh, it is slightly better, actually, I think. Was this wishful thinking or what? So we've tried a couple of steps. Are you holding that much?
This one,
OK, let's go down. My core position's precariously...
The news is not good.
That looked about the same, I think.
Felt all right.
But, like, all right being the same as it was before.
It looks uncommonly as though if you take each individual hip flexor in turn, each of them makes a contribution. So that if you take one of them out, you still haven't made very much difference. And this, in a sense, is the worst possible answer that we could come up with. Is that stimulating? We've been here before, haven't we, Julie? This is progress. I wish there was a magic wand, but I've been in this business for over 20 years, and I know there is no magic wand. And I usually have about 30% of S1L, isn't it? Tell me what happens. What gets results in the end is sheer bloody-minded persistence, worrying away at the problems until they give up out of sheer exhaustion. Tell me whether you're thrown forward or back.
Nothing. Sorry, Tim, I'm going to have to sit down, I'm afraid.
OK. Coming down. OK. Is that the head that's feeling a bit dizzy?
So.
OK, thank you, Julie.
OK.
Yeah. Need a bit of a breeze? You right? Sorry, I was working you too hard.
It's all right.
Always look on the bright side.
Somebody ought to write a song about that.
It's good when you get a good day, and then they seem to lose focus on where it's gone, and it seems to go back. And I think sometimes that they're perhaps a little bit too clever for their own good, and they're trying to think of it through in a very scientific manner. And if they went and did that, well, I wonder what happens if I just tweak here type thing, just play a bit. OK, record it so you remember what you tweaked. I'm sure that sometimes they would find a lot out that the rule book said shouldn't happen, but does, because we've proved it already once or twice in minor things, where if you did a little tweak here, a little tweak there, it suddenly caused an advance. Well, that shouldn't work like that. Comes back to the answer, but it does, so let's keep with it.
2, 3.
Good enough, good enough.
While it's a question of yet more tests for the standing, there is one new and exciting development, and it's ideally suited to the implant.
Still catches at that point, but it's not catching as much, is it?
After months of work, Tim's created a program that will make Julie's legs mimic a cycling pattern. Today is the first major test.
You ready for this, Julie?
Bated breath, Tim.
Absolutely on tenterhooks. OK. Move one knee, one direction, backwards.
Backwards.
Oh, it's going forwards anyway.
As Julie's pedals move forward, they pass a series of magnetically operated switches on the tricycle, triggering the implant into stimulating Julie's muscles.
Now, this is the crunch. Will it? Not quite.
Depending on where each leg is in the cycle pattern, the tricycle will tell the implant whether Julie's muscles should push or pull.
With a bit of lunch, she should be able to manage on her... Oh, yes, she is. Leave it be, Jonathan. She's... Oh. Yeah, they're overspread on the top. So we're not quite right.
Bloody good show, though, really.
But it's better than it was.
Absolutely.
Well, I think that gives us some kind of clue as to where to head next on this.
The key is to have it a more distributed force around the cycle.
Sounds excellent.
Will that do for today?
I think you've just given me a bloody marvellous day, actually. Wonderful day. I think you've had a good day too,
Right.
really.
Right. Thank you. Yes, I think it's beginning to be a good day.
I think the nice thing about this as well, I mean, this is a very, very much a first thing with the cycling. And Tim is just so proud of it. I think he is just so pleased with the way it's going. He's so chuffed with everything that's happened. And you can see him almost preening, you know. It's just, it worked, and he's just so pleased with it. It is an odd-looking thing, but it's just such good fun. It really is such good fun.
That's great.
Good.
Go around.
Good.
Okay, you helping, Jonathan?
No, I'm just steering.
Right, just that a sec. Once, twice. It's got my alarm on it.
Yes, it has.
2 miles an hour.
We're going uphill slightly at the moment. So
Quite a lot, actually, I'd say.
I don't know how long I can actually exercise on it for yet, because it's an unknown entity. But, I mean, if I can exercise on there for an hour, then there's no reason why I can't do an hour's bike ride.
I think we'll just keep going for 5 minutes and see how far she gets.
I'm going downhill. Hey, we could be on a roll now.
Yeah, well, you never get back up again.
Yeah, bye, Tim. I'm out of here.
If we could get even a modest capability in standing, stepping and cycling, then I'm pretty sure that quite a significant portion of the paraplegic population would be interested. And that would help dozens of people every year. Hundreds, thousands perhaps, in this country alone, let alone across Europe. There are 200,000 spinal injury patients in Europe, Western Europe. Don't even think about how many there are worldwide.
This could be slow, little leisurely ride, guys.
8 years after her accident, Julie achieves her dream of going out for a ride with her sons.
Hey. Not a problem, excuse me.
Now we have to learn how to stand up.
I've actually gone up a thing. Hey, look, 6 miles an hour, that's pretty good.
We're doing well, you know.
All day's good, all day's good. Hey, I think we could go miles for this. Actually, I feel like I could go all day.
I actually wondered, I asked him this, and I'm not quite sure how it would work or not, but whether the implant would outlast me. Now that could be spooky.